Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, and it's time for Saturday with Stacy, YouTube number 270. Now this is the next release of Simply Defined die stamps and hot foil plates for your Go Press and Foil machine. But we're going to be doing so much more than me just showing you my next collection, which I love, but I've got more for you than just showing you really pretty dies and really pretty stamps and really pretty hot foil plates. This is going to be a technique-based YouTube, and you may want to take notes on this YouTube. So at some point, I think I'll do my pause face now before I forget to do it. So if you're going to want to take notes, now's a good time to pause me because I won't blink. Oh, I just blinked. Okay, trying to keep my eyes open. Okay, did you pause me and are you back? That way I don't have this weird face going on. All right, so it's going to be so much more than a YouTube of me just showing you my latest and greatest products. This is a class, a true class. And because it's a class, there's different aspects. There's going to be something for the very beginner who's never crafted before. Then we're going to get a little bit more difficult, and then a little bit more difficult, and hopefully you will see the progression of what you can do in your crafting journey. You can keep it easy peasy mac and cheesy sometimes because maybe you don't have enough time to do something ooh. But sometimes easy peasy mac and cheesy gives you the best results. But then every now and then you want to get super creative and you just want to play. So I've got that for you too. We have got product from Marabou. I've got some Stampendous going on. I've got some Sizzix, but not dies. Wait till you see what I have from Sizzix. Oh, so pretty. But then I'm going to show you how to make it in case you want to make your own. I've got a lot. So before we get started, we always have winner, chick. Oh, and announcements. National Scrapbook Day orders are completely filled. That means every order has been filled and is now in process of either going through quality control or shipping. So all orders from National Scrapbooking Day are done, as well as orders from the Spellbinders warehouse sale. All orders have been pulled. This doesn't mean that all orders have been shipped from these sales. It means that all orders have been filled. Now they go to quality control and shipping, and we're shipping those orders out every single day. And again, a big thank you to all of you who posted, yay, I got my stuff, woohoo ka-choo, or holy smokes artichokes, I got my stuff right on time. You hit your shipping time frame perfectly. Thank you very much. I appreciate those comments, as well as the comments of, yes, I can see the progression of how it's going. I can see it going from awaiting payment if you chose pay later, to payment received, to awaiting fulfillment, to awaiting shipping, to shipping. So it makes my heart happy to see all of those comments and get all of your emails saying, yay, you're cheering right there with me, and I can feel you're cheering with me. I can feel you saying, go Stacy, you can do it. Go SMS, you can do it. And we're just not gonna give up until we do. Now, winner, chicken dinner. This was on, oh my gosh, those Studio Light, those decoupage bundle kits, pads, paper. Were they not fabulous at a price that was unbelievable? And yes, some of them sold out really super quick, but they're already here, so I don't have a chance to go and order more. But the good part is they're already here. I don't have to wait for a manufacturer to ship them to me because they came from the Netherlands. So I wanted to be absolutely certain they were here before we did the YouTube, because I've never done business with Studio Light before, but bless their pea-picking souls, they were so kind and so nice and so accommodating and so woohoo ka-choo, because they were like, they didn't know me from anybody. I was just some crazy American lady emailing over at 2 o'clock in the morning, hello, is anybody there? So anyway, we have winner, chicken dinner from that YouTube, which was $2.69, and you are going to win, you're going to win, looks like a Studio Light pad. You're going to win some iZink glitter from Aladdin. Weren't those new colors like fabulous? Oh my gosh, love them. And then you're going to win some 3D foam adhesives, so you can get poppin', get it? popping. Because they're pop dots, for those of you who that just went, whoosh. They're pop dots. The foam, the 3D foam adhesive, we use them as pop dots. Anyway, okay. I suppose if I have to explain, I really shouldn't have made the joke. Okay, back to what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, this one's in. Okay, neither of these are actual names. I have got Crafting with Cats, Tammy Porter. Crafting with Cats, Tammy Porter is our first winner chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. The cats are winners, chicken dinner. Tammy's a winner, chicken dinner. Congratulations, but you are not alone. I also have another winner, and again, it's not a proper name, a name. It is DDS Paperworks. Okay, DDS Paperworks, you're a winner, chicken dinner. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Now, you have also won Studio Light product, Aladdin product, and 3D foam adhesives that will keep you popping. Why? Because they're pop dots. And here, let me hold this up. If this is you, congratulations. Holy smokes artichokes, you probably never thought it was going to be your turn. You've probably posted, both of you, for like, I don't know, 5 years or more, and are just like, but here it is, your turn. So you never know when I'm going to call your name. The only thing I can be absolutely positive of is if you do not leave a comment, I absolutely will not call your name. Kind of like the Mega Lotto, that was $1 billion. Everybody's like, are you playing? Are you playing? No. I understood that meant there was no chance I was going to win. But you know what? With my $2, I went and I got a soda, and I was happy with that. I was a winner with that. Actually, I got some Crystal Light stuff with my $2, and that made me a winner chicken dinner because it's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so we've got DDS Paperworks and Crafting with Cats, Tammy Porter. Congratulations. How do you claim your prize? Go to scrapbookingmadesimple.com. scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Look for the link that says winner chicken dinner. Click it. Follow the directions. We'll confirm that you are indeed our winner and then get your prizes out to you as soon as possible. For those of you who were an anniversary sale 100 prize winner, we are beginning to ship those prizes. Yay! So you should also be looking for Happy Mail over the next month or so. It'll take some time to get 100 prizes out, but we have begun the process. So again, wahoo kachoo. So I don't think that's what Christina said. Christina's the one who's taking care of all the prizes. I think she actually said more like, holy smokes artichokes. But then she gets your email about how you love your prize or thank you for your prize, and that makes her heart happy. So, all right. I think I am going to get started for today. And again, we have got a technique-based YouTube for you. Definitely techniqued. There's going to be a beginning, a middle, and an end to this. I'm going to show you very similar things, only done in a completely different way, so that you have the opportunity to decide how you want to do it and how best to use the things you already have in your crafting arsenal. You may have a good portion of the stuff that I'm going to use. You may already have gelatos or Marabou. You might already have Memento inks. You might have Versamark already. You might have some foils. And with this foil technique, because I'm not going to be using the Go Press and foil, I am almost positive you can use the Couture Creations foil, or if you have Thermoweb foil, I bet you'll be able to use this as well. So you can try both. We're going to be using some new from Sizzix, so there's just lots going on. And I think that we will tilt down and get started for today. Are you ready to go? Down we go. Bye, everybody. All right, so then I'm going to start zooming in and tilting down and zooming in. All right, that looks pretty good to me. I think so. Here is the make and take that's going on downstairs right now. This is what our lovely in-store peeps are doing right now. And the die, the background, the whole die and the hello are part of my Simply Defined collection, Find Your Sunshine. And then we did it in this color combination. Well, actually, we did like 8 color combinations downstairs. So our customers have the opportunity to pick which colors they want to do. but super easy, super fun. And what I really want you to pay attention to is the black overlay, the black die cut, and how shiny, that is, how glossy that is. I'm going to show you a couple ways to achieve this, and I'm going to show you how to get that background. Only we're going to be using several different types of product to get the same results. So that way, if you've got a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you're going to be able to do this as well. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to put those off to the side. First things first, I think I'm going to start with the die. So this is the rose die from Find Your Sunshine, and it actually has 3 pieces. So it has the decor die, which cuts out all the beautiful line work. It has a frame die to go around it, and then it also has the word hello, just so I had the room to put it in. And you know me, if I've got room on the template, I'm going to add it. For those of you who have never heard that before, I manufacture Simply Defined and Simply Refined products, and I have to buy the metal in a certain size to make this die. This is a metal die, and the metal is so big, and I'm paying for that metal, whether I do something teeny tiny or I take up every last centimeter of that metal. So whenever there's extra metal, I try to add little doodads so that you get extra, because if I'm paying for it already, you might as well get as much as I can get in there. Now, the background. Let's start with a background, shall we? I have got a new product from Sizzix, and it's not a die. I know, right? Usually everything, I'm going to put these over here. Usually everything we do from Sizzix is a die, but this is their new marble metallic paper, and it is so pretty. Oh, see the foil built into it? Beautiful. You get 2 sheets of, gosh, I don't know if it's 4 or 5 colors, but how lovely is this? So let's start out just super, super simple. Oh, right? It's just lovely. It's just paper, already foiled for you. And it'll be on the YouTube Yummy, and I can't remember if it's $6.99 for the pack, but it'll be on sale. But let's play with it. Let's use it a little bit. So maybe I use the pink. Let's start with the pink. And I'm going to grab my frame die from my Find Your Sunshine, and I want to cut that frame die out. So I've got my Big Shot machine over here. I'm going to pull it right on over. I have got my small multi-purpose platform. I'm going to use my small multi-purpose platform. If you had the extended multi-purpose platform, perfectly fine. This is going to run through the same no matter whether you have the small or the large. You could even put this on your magnetic platform if you really wanted. I've got my cut plate there. I'm going to decide where it is I want to cut my background. I'm going to put my do not cut plate over the top, because you always want a plate that you're not cutting into so that you're not dealing with 2 plates that are completely warped. And then I'm just going to send it on through. And this is an open frame die, which means it's not intricate at all. You could put your fingers right through the center of the die, which means that it doesn't require you to go back and forth or to rotate or to use a precision base plate. It's going to cut out with just one run. And you can see it's a frame die, so it's open in the center, which is completely different from what I call a decor die. And this is the decorator piece that goes on top, and this obviously is not open in the center, and this is more intricate. It has far more cut lines. Now, both of these are called a wafer die because, well, they're wafer thin, and you know you're cutting into the paper with the right side when you feel the ridges. One side of the die is completely flat, and one side has lines around all the die, and those are the cut lines. That's actually what's going to cut the paper. You run it through your Big Shot or Big Kick or Vagabond or Platinum 6 or Pro or Plus or whichever machine you have, and the pressure from that machine is what cuts the paper. Now that's very pretty, but we're not done yet. Let's put that right there, and let's grab a piece of black paper. Oh, perfect fit. And this time I am going to use my precision base plate. This is a precision base plate from Sizzix. This is the version 3. It's the chrome, so it's kind of got that mirror in it. It's got directions on the back as to how to use it. You always use it with your multi-purpose platform completely closed, no tabs open. You can run this through your Platinum 6 machine. You can run this through your Platinum 6 machine, absolutely. You're gonna put it right down on top. If you can read the directions, stop. If I'm about to do this, stop. I need to be this way. Can't read the directions. Then I'm going to put my paper straight down on it and my die, and then an old, well, this one's actually worse, so I will use this, or an old cut plate. Here we go. This one, I'll use my old cut plate. The oldest plate you can find, because it is going to add so much pressure that it's going to leave an indent of this rose into my cut plate. And that's okay, that's what we want it to do. I'm gonna bring it on over, and I'm gonna send it on through. So I'm gonna roll once, and then because it is intricate, I'm just gonna be sure I'm gonna rotate it 90 degrees, and I'm gonna send it on back. Okay. So let's see what we got. Grab my tweezers and pop it on out. There we go. And all the little bits and pieces start to fall out, which is exactly what you want. Ooh, that one flew. All the little bits and pieces start to fall out, giving you your finished die cut. So I tend to want to poke all of them out, and turning them over, you can see where they are a little bit better because you can see the cut lines. And that way you can go in there and just pop them all out. Let's get rid of all of these. And every time, it never changes. Every time I think I've popped all of them out, I look again and there's another one. But I think we are close enough. But I say that every time too, and then I find more. Okay, there's my rose. But now, look at how absolutely beautiful it looks. When I put it on top of the Sizzix foil, it's absolutely gorgeous on top of the Sizzix foil. It's beautiful. You've got that foil aspect in there that if you don't have a foiling machine, it allows you to have that extra little oomph to it. It does. But what if I wanted to change it up just a little bit? What if I wanted to color it in just a little bit? It's got a little bit of white space. Maybe I want to darken it up and change it up a little bit. Well, you know what? I'm going to get the other pink and I'm going to cut it again. Bring over my die. I'm not going to need my precision base plate right now because the precision base plate is only used when you are doing an intricate die, something very detailed. If you were to use it on a frame die like this, what will happen is it will tend to want to warp your die. It will want to bend your die. Will it hurt your die? No, you can fix it. You can just, bend it back and it'll be fine. But I know that people get really, when they see their die bending, they're like, ah! So then just don't use a frame die with your precision base plate. And I'm going to send this on through, and again, it's an open frame die. It's a one run through your die cutting machine, whether that be your Big Kick or your Big Shot or your Vagabond or your Platinum from Spellbinders or even your Cuttlebug. There we go, I got it all over again. But I said I wanted to kind of take it up a little bit. I wanted to add a little bit because maybe when I put my, oh, but that looks so good. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll do that. I just have to do one of them. Just go with it, Stacy. Maybe I want to add a little something to it. So I grabbed some colors of Memento. Any ink will do, whatever you have will do. Ooh, there went my cut plate. And I'm just gonna grab a baby wipe or a dauber, a finger dauber. We sell finger daubers, whatever you've got. I just wanna get a little bit of that ink. Maybe just around some of the white edges. You got Tim Holtz, whatever makes your heart happy. I just want to get rid of a little bit of that white, a little bit of that starkness. Just add a little bit of color. Let's see what color this does. So I got rid of just a little bit of that white, but I kept the foil because the foil is going to resist the color. So I added a little bit of color extra to it. And now I can put it on, and my rose has very little white to it. Very little white. So I have this opportunity, or I can use it just the way it came out of the paper pad and have this opportunity. It's up to you. And again, what ink do you have? Stampin' Up? Sure. Lawn Fawn? Absolutely. Memento? Sure. Claire from Imagine Crafts? Yes. What ink do you already own? Gosh, Tonic Studios? Sure. Pick the color you like, and you can kind of zhuzh, make it a little bit, bam it up a little bit if it's a little too light in color for you. Or because you've got the different, you've got two in each sheet, at least two colors or 2 pages in each one, you can vary them up so when you lay them together, should you decide to do that on whatever you're working on, it's still the same hue, it's still the same paper, it's still got the same feel and the same, well, texture and pattern through it, but you've just darkened it up by adding a little bit of ink to it. And by the time you put your paper over the top, any place that you thought, oh no, it's not good there, looky, I didn't get it even there, it's too dark, that's okay. Put your paper on top and you're fine. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. Love this paper, love the colors, and I think it's really nice for when you need something that's got a little bit of a flair to it, but you're in kind of a hurry or you don't have the opportunity to play with foils, but you want that foil on there. Beautiful, beautiful paper. So I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna move on, because now that I've shown you, you can buy this right off the shelf on sale and take it and start doing this right away. What if you wanted to make your own to kind of look like this? What if that's what you wanted to do? Okay, let's try that. So I have got my 100-pound Simply Defined white cardstock. Just 100-pound paper, doesn't matter if it's mine or I don't know who else makes 100-pound white cardstock, wherever you're getting it from, that's fine, just something heavy. It can be watercolor paper, and this time I am going to play with my Marabou. These are art crayons by Marabou. Marabou is a company out of Germany. They have just really become more well known here in the United States in the past year or two. because they were not here before. Now these are very much like a gelato. So if you own Faber-Castell gelatos, you're gonna be just fine. You can do this exact same technique without having to buy a single Marabou. Just know that when your gelatos are up, we are selling the Marabou. Why? Well, because we didn't know about them before gelatos, and they are a highly pigmented soft pastel. That's what this is. It's not like a crayon, like a Crayola. It's what they call a soft pastel. And this whole chamber is filled with the color. And it goes so very, very far, and it's meant to blend. That's what these are. These are blendable crayons, and they work with water, and you can make your own spritzers out of them. Just a lot of things that can be done with them. So Marabou's, and the price is absolutely amazing. Sometimes when you leave the scrapbooking market a little bit, when you step out away from the scrapbooking market, you can find product that is comparable or better for less money, just because it doesn't say scrapbooking or crafting on it. So this is a fine art medium. Don't be afraid of fine art mediums. I've got lots of, there's like 26 or 27 colors that we currently carry. Don't be afraid if something says fine art on it. All that means is the quality of the product you're working with. It doesn't mean that you need to be a fine artist. No, it means that the quality of the product is that of fine art. And when you start with something that's quality, you usually get a better result, especially when you're a beginner, when you're just starting out. So I'm going to take my Marabou and I'm going to put it on a baby wipe. And I always start with my lightest color first, baby wipe. And let's just go. I like baby wipes that are the least expensive. I don't want to spend a lot of money for my baby wipes. If they're too wet, I don't like them. There, got some yellow on there. Ta-da! All right, now maybe I move to the red, and I'm gonna put this color right on top of my yellow. Same baby wipe, right on top. And I'm gonna move, and then maybe I'm gonna put a little more yellow right on top of my red, and come back and blend, blend, blend. And you can see the colors blending into each other and make a background. Beautiful. Now if I wanted more red over here, well, you know what? Let's use kind of a winey pinky color and see what happens. Put that winey pinky. I'm still on my same baby wipe, and let's see what we get. Pretty. And then a little bit of yellow right on top, and maybe blend that in. Okay. What do you think? So now I can die cut this. Wipe it right off my craft mat, which are back in stock. Yes, the SMS craft mats are back in stock, and this is the one that doesn't move. It's got a silicone back, and it's heat resistant to 550 degrees on top, and nothing sticks to it, and then nothing will move because of the silicone on the back. So they are back in stock, yes. All right, so I've got that. Now I can take my frame die and cut. Do I want, well, let's cut. Let's cut, oh, by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Wow, that's close. All right, well, close counts in horseshoes and die cutting, I guess. Send it on through. No precision base plate needed. One roll should be fine. But okay, so you get it all the way to the end. If you roll back, is that the end of the world? No, it's not a big deal at all. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. It's a frame die, so it's going to cut well for you each and every time. Take my black. What do you think? Try away. What do we think of that? Do we like it? Yay, pretty. You could go in and really add some streaks to it and really marble it, because the marabou is so pigmented that I could really just go in and just throw some color down and just kind of blot it. Gosh, and I should have done green. We'll see what happens when I should have done green on the leaves. Do I dare? A little bit of green. Okay, so now it's kind of blotchy and all over the place. But the magic is when you pick up, look at how that blotchy just adds to the whole effect of the rose. So now you've got even more dimension, because you've got your light areas with your yellows going through, and then that really heavy red just peeking right up. And the petals now have texture and richness to them that maybe they didn't have before, which is what you get when you use the Sizzix. You get that richness because you've got the colors and the foiling going on, and it adds a depth and a perception to the die that is just beautiful. And we're only talking paper. Remember, this was just a piece of white paper. You have white paper, but we took it up a whole in that green. Actually, it looks kind of yucky there, but then put the leaves on it and it transforms. Not so much. Wow, that looks really good. So you have to give yourself the permission to play. I'm gonna wipe this up. You have to give yourself the permission. Make sure I have a piece that's big enough to go in there and grab the inks that you like. Let's try another one. Grab the inks that you like. I should fold it. I'm using the crayons, our marabou crayons. Go in there and just move them. And I always start with my lightest color first, because then that's what is going to come through from the bottom. If you start with a dark color and then try to put a lighter color on top, that dark color is going to absorb it. Let's see what we get when we do this blue. So this is a darker blue. Not too much. I want a bigger contrast. So let's try this one. This is kind of a greeny. Oh, I like the greeny. And I'm just getting in there, and I'm not making it perfect. I'm just trying to add some color, and then I think I will add some green, and I'm still on my same baby white. And really get in there. Got some definition, it's got some color, and if I really wanted to, I could come back with my lightest blue all over again, still on my same baby white, and go back in and add some of that light blue again, just to kind of tie it all together. So now I'm going to cut. Grab my frame, bring it over, send it through. Okay. What do we think of that? But then you're saying, Stacy, that's lovely, but the Sizzix, it had the foil going on. Yes, I know, we're getting there. I promise we're getting there. So I've got these beautiful backgrounds. I'm just gonna wipe off my craft mat. Beautiful backgrounds, but there isn't any foil to them, is there? And maybe you want some foil to them. Well, I'm gonna show you how to add the foil. Easy peasy. First things first, your paper has to be dry. It cannot be wet. Let me show you how I'm going to add the foil. And the first way I'm going to do it is the wrong way. Don't do it this way, okay? It's the wrong way. I'm gonna bring my paper over and I'm going to grab a Prima Planner glue stick, okay? And I can just kind of go all over with my glue stick, wherever I want. Prima Planner glue stick. It sticks really, really good. Then I can grab my foil and I can put it right on top of that glue. Just give a really good rub. Oh, you can even see it already coming off. Look at that. Can you see where my glue stick is? That foil is coming off. So any place I put that glue stick, I just want to give a nice rub, which means all the scraps from your foils that are left over, ta-da! And it's kind of got a distress look. It's not perfect. It's fine. I don't want it to be perfect because I'm trying to add a background to it. So if this is where you start, and then you decide to color your paper. Let's take that soft blue. And let's color our paper with the soft blue. So we've put the foil down with the glue first. And now I'm blending and blending and blending, and look at what's happening. I'm losing my foil. It is just disappearing. You can't put your foil down first and then come back and add your color. You need to do your background first and then add your foil. So, background first. Super fast, get one done. Literally takes no time at all to make your background. And then let's add a little bit of this. And let's add a little more yellow. And kind of soften it all together. Okay, so background first. Then you have to let it dry. It has to be dry before you put your glue on it. Oh, another white bead. There we go. It has to be dry before you put your glue on it. This one feels pretty dry. This one feels really dry. Let's try this one. My paper feels very dry. It's no longer wet from the baby wipe, which is why you want really, you don't want super expensive baby wipes because they're too nice. Mr. SMS once bought me the really nice Loves, or no, I think they were Huggies, and they were just supple and soft and moist, and they smelled good, and if I was doing a baby's behind, I would totally get it. But I'm crafting, and I want something that's kind of meh. So I love the Sam's Club. They're like perfect. I'm gonna put these aside for right now, and I'm gonna bring this one over which is the one we did a little bit earlier. And I'm going to add my foil to it. You ready? So let's grab that glue stick from Prima. Now they come in 6 colors. And the color doesn't matter whether it be yellow or orange or green. They just come in fun colors. So if you buy these from us, they're going to be on a really great sale, but you don't get to pick your color. You kind of get what you get. And what I tell my kids is you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. So if you really liked the green one, but you got the orange one, that's okay. Orange is a lovely color. It's the color of Valencia oranges. It's the color of many sunsets. Or if you got the yellow one and you really wanted the green one, well, yellow is the color of sunshine. You'll find something that will make you happy because they're beautiful. They're fine colors. They're all the same glue stick. Now, what if maybe I do want to use this one. I think I'm going to heat this one really quick. That way it dries. Just going to take my heat tool super fast. That feels pretty good. Okay, and I kind of run my glue here, there, and everywhere. And at the same time, I'm going to do it on the blue. Put my glue kind of wherever. And then let's take some foil. So for the blue, I am going to use some silver. And put it right down on top. And for the yellowy reddy color, I'm going to use my gold. And again, what foil do you have? If you have the Couture Creations, I'm positive it's going to work. And it is the best value for glue or for foil out on the market. You get 15 feet for $2.80. You can't go wrong. You can absolutely try Thermoweb foil. Their foil may work just as well, and if you already own it, give it a whirl. Now, pretty side is always facing me. Okay, I just added a foil effect. You're saying, yeah, but meh. Okay, don't worry. Oh, I didn't press hard enough on or it was still too wet. Or maybe I didn't put any there. You know what, I wonder if I didn't get any glue stick. Get some foil right in there. Fire trucks, wouldn't be a Stacy YouTube without them. There we go, good nice press. Shucks, you can even do that. You can even just kind of blot around and then take your extra foils that you haven't thrown away or that tiny little bit that's left on the roll, but it's not enough to use. Okay, or you can mix your foils. Okay. Put those away. Now let's see what we've got. So now I've got that beautiful foiled element right onto my flower. So it's up to you, and I'm going to die cut this one really fast. And I want to get some of that foil into that leaf. Okay, I think that's good. I'm going to bring my machine on over, and I'm going to die cut this one really fast. Bring over my multi-purpose platform and my 2 cutting plates. Remember, your platform's completely closed. You've got a cut plate down below. You've got a do not cut plate on top. And you're going to send it on through. One time will do ya. And now I can put it right on there. And again, I've got that beautiful foiled element. It just adds that little extra something that is a surprise that you don't expect to see. And when you put it on your pages or your cards or your mixed media or your altered art or your journals or you're making bookmarks or whatever, it just makes it stand out that much more without it being, woo! It's beautiful. This one I did earlier, and I did a purple top and the blues, and I think I used gold on that. Look at how soft and beautiful it is without it being overly in your face, which is pretty much what you get when you use, I bet you it didn't glue down, what you use if you're in a rush, then use the Sizzix paper. Or if you don't have the opportunity to do this right now, if this isn't in your wheelhouse right now, if you are just starting and you're like, okay, slow your roll, Stacy, you had me until you started using baby wipes. If I had you until then get the Sizzix paper, because you'll have the same beautiful look. And there's nothing better than giving somebody something that is handmade. And when they see it and when they open it and when they read it and they appreciate it and they love it, and if they dare throw it away, you tell them to give it back to you first. There is no throwing away of handmade gifts. You have options. You have opportunity to play. And I didn't use anything more than paper, some art crayons, some foil, a glue stick. No, I didn't use anything more than that. If you want to tone the paper from Sizzix, you want to add a little more color to it because it's got too much negative space for you, just grab one of your inks in the same color family and go. Exactly what I did here. But we're not done yet. Oh, no, we need to move on. These are so pretty. They're just so beautiful and so easy. And foiling is such a craze right now. Oh my gosh, makes my heart happy. Okay, I'm gonna set these over to the side, and then I think I'm gonna bring out my butterfly. So I'm gonna change it up a little bit, and I'm gonna do the butterfly. So let's make a background for the butterfly super quick. Super quick. What colors make your heart happy? Let's use, I always like yellow as my base. I'm just that girl. I always wanted a yellow house with a white picket fence. I'm not gonna get a yellow house with a white picket fence, and at this point, I'd settle for any house with any fence. So what's going on with my house? Nothing. We are still not settled. And in fact, it got a little bit worse before it got a little bit better this past week. The insurance company, they sent a letter rescinding what I was told, and then told me that I was lying, or that I wasn't lying. They didn't use the word lying. Let me be clear. I don't want to say something that isn't true. They just said that they never said what they said. So I took it as that they thought I was being dishonest in what I was telling them, when I have not been dishonest. So anyway, it got a little bit worse, but it'll get better. Everybody tells me it will. And if you are the one person who won the $1 billion, okay, I would, at this point in my life, I would take a donation to my house. Don't need you to cover all of it. Really, I don't. But gosh, if you could certainly help out, I would love to go home. I'd love to go home. It's been 15 months and I'm still not home. Don't know that I'm gonna get home, but we're trying. But if you are the insurance company and you know who you are and you're listening to me, I was told what I was told, and you should honor what you said because we counted on that. So, all right, so background, maybe add a little bit, maybe a little. I don't know, I'm just playing with colors right now. This might just give me, oh, it's just a deeper, well, that's okay, I don't mind the deeper. Deeper's good. Yeah, okay, I'm digging on that. And a little bit of yellow. I probably could sit and make backgrounds all day long. Okay, I'm good with that. Ta-da! Now I'm gonna cut my butterfly out of it. So let's bring my machine back over. Line it on up, decide what I want. I think I like that actually. I'm gonna have a little bit off the yellow, and my do not cut plate is right here. And send it through. This is a frame die, so it's only gonna take once through. Do I have 2 plates? One, oh, no, I'm good. Okay, whew. Like, do I have too much in there? Well, I must, because it's not ruling. Oh, well, Stacy. Okay, beautiful thing about the Sizzix Big Shot machine and the Sizzix machines in general, same with the Spellbinders machines, if you have it too thick, see, I had that on the bottom. If you have it too thick, it's not going to let you put it through. It's going to say, back it up, figure out what you're doing wrong, try again. See, that's the beauty of a hand roll. I like that you know, a hand rolling machine and not a automatic machine, because then you can't make a mistake. It won't let you make a mistake versus a push the button machine. And I know some of those machines are really, really good out on the market, but I just get so nervous with them. I suppose I'm gonna have to get over my fear of them. Oh yeah, okay, so there's my outline of my butterfly. Now I'm gonna take some yucky paper. I'm gonna take some paper that I just have laying around. I've just got little pieces of it. Will this size work? I think that'll work just fine. Okay, so I'm gonna use a piece of cardstock that you would be like going, those probably are not gonna look great together, but okay, I get it. I am using a die that has much more detail to it, so I am going to use my precision base plate, bring it right on over, put my paper down, put my die down, put my cut plate on the top, because that pressure is going to leave an indent, and I don't mind if it indents my cut plate. And I'm going to send it on through. And this time when I get to the end, I'm going to do a nice little rotation. Zoop. And send it this way. Okay, let's pull it and see what we've got. So this is my Simply Defined Find Your Sunshine butterfly. And it's a little different than most butterflies. I gotta find a piece to let me get it out. Can I grab that one? Maybe do this one. And pull, pull, pull. There we go. There we go. And all my little doodads and bits and pieces are going to fall out. So the idea on my butterfly is that it actually makes up a flower. Well, let me get the rest of my bits and pieces out. I think that looks like all of them. So let's move this over to the side. And let's show you my butterfly when it's cut out. So there it is. So can you see the flower that makes up the wings and then the leaves that come off the flower? That's the butterfly. But it does have a frame, which means you have the opportunity to do this. But remember, I originally showed you how pretty and glossy our roses were in our samples. I want to show you how I did that. I took a yucky piece of paper, a piece of paper that was so smaller that I just couldn't use, but it was too big to throw away, but too small for me to use anything with it. And I am going to take my Versamark. Now, what is Versamark? Versamark is a medium for embossing, heat embossing. So I'm going to take my Versamark. And yes, my Versamark pad looks icky. I know. I can hear Doris right now. She was teasing me. Yes, it's got little bits of glitter from whenever. It's got little bits of embossing powder from whenever, but it's still good. The pad is still good. All you need to do is re-ink it with your Versamark re-inker. And I'm gonna take this, and it's clear. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go all over my lovely butterfly. Ah, wouldn't you know it? I found one. Right there. Holy smokes, artichokes. Just when you think you've got them all out. Okay, so now I'm going to try and hold this up. And I don't know, can you see that it's wet? Can you see the wetness on it? It's clear and it's wet. And that embossing medium is going to let you, I should turn, no, I'm just going to get a new one. That embossing medium is going to let you throw embossing powder on top of it. Any color you want. I am going to use black, and I'm using detailed black. It's important that you use detailed black for what we're doing. I'm going to put my butterfly on down, and I'm just going to put this all over. And I just want to make sure I get all of it. Okay, good. Now, all of this, I'm going to put back in. And I could tap this off. Tap, tap, tap. And put that little body back in just a little bit. And now I'm going to put all of this right back into my bottle. You use very, very little. Perfect. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat it up. This is not a blow dryer. I am going to get rid of that extra little powder though. There we go. This is not a blow dryer. This is a heat tool from Ranger. It's their Heat It tool. You can see that I can put it right down next to my open bottle of powder and it's not blowing it everywhere. What is this heat tool doing? It is taking my powder and heating it into a solid. Let's see if I can. It's heating it into a solid. So I'm going to try and show you so you can see where the glossy is. It's taken that powder and made it now a solid, an embossed solid. This is still powder. It hasn't had enough heat yet to turn it from a powder into a solid. So let's just finish it right up. And the heat doesn't blow so hard that you can't get your hands next to it. Okay, good. Done. It's got a nice glossy finish to it. But I want it to even be more glossy. I even want it to have a bigger finish to it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do a double embossing. This is where we get questions. All right, Stacy, how come you're not using an ultra thick embossing powder to do this? You could use an ultra thick, and therefore, Stacy, you only have to do it once. I'm using actually a detailed, which is the polar opposite of an ultra thick embossing powder. Why am I using a detailed embossing powder and doing the embossing twice? Because this is a very fine lined die cut. Very fine lined. I don't want that ultra thick embossing powder getting into those leaves and filling those holes up with ultra fine or ultra thick embossing powder. I'm using a detailed embossing powder so that I know it's only going to grab where it's going to, where the Versamark is, and it's not going to spread like an ultra thick embossing powder will. Detailed is just that. The grains are much, much, much finer, so it doesn't have the opportunity when it melts to spread, thereby taking away all the beautiful detail of this butterfly. But I want it more glossy, so what do I have to do? 1, 2, 3. Put more Versamark on it. Put it right back. Add some more embossing powder to it, and do what's called a double emboss. You can even do a triple emboss if you really want to, if you want it even more raised and more glossy. And remember, this paper is not black. This paper is burgundy. That means you can take any paper that you have, all those scraps, all that pattern paper that you don't like anymore, and you can die cut, and as long as you're using an embossing powder, a colored embossing powder over the top of it, you're good to go. It's going to cover up what's underneath. So I'm going to hold, and it's going to start turning. And you can see it turn. You can see it go to a liquid form. And it doesn't take long. And it's like magic. The first time somebody sees embossing happen, it's like magic to them. I think I missed that space. Yep, I think I missed that space. Okay, so now, and it doesn't take long for it to be done. Now it's, oh see, I missed that little space right in there. I don't know if you can see, but it's not as shiny. Okay, now you can see it's even more glossy than it was before. Now it's even thicker. The embossing powder is even thicker. It's even more raised. It has even more texture and dimension to it. But I missed that little space right there, and that's going to drive me crazy. Versamark pen is your friend. It's your Oops pen. I'm going to go in there, and this is the same product that's in here. Exact same product. And I'm just going to put a little bit of Versamark on there. Put a little bit of embossing powder just right there. And I'm going to fix my mistake without having to redo the entire thing. Best Oops pin ever, like the Mementos, and it's got a fine tip and a brush tip. This is not refillable, unfortunately, but they're very inexpensive, and you really use it as an Oops pin. All right, I'm going to go back in and go back, there it is. Go back in and heat. Oh, yay! Are we there? Yay! Now it's all better, like it never even happened. And see, because you've added the embossing powder, you've got something that's got some rigidity to it. Absolutely beautiful. So when we're doing these things, you absolutely can do a double emboss. You can do a triple emboss. I could take this one, even though it's black. And if you have, is this my clear? If you have detailed clear embossing powder, and you want to use a colored paper, but you still want that shiny, beautiful look, but you're not going to go in there with glossy accents. That's a bit of a chore, and you'll never get it to stay in the same place. Glossy accents is meant to spread around. But I can take, and with my clear detailed embossing powder, do the exact same thing. Let's get some on there. So this time I'm using black paper. Maybe all you have is clear embossing powder, but you love the look of a double embossed. Well, then you're going to pick a pattern or a colored paper or a pattern paper that you like, and as opposed to trying to hide it, you're going to accentuate it. You're going to make it even more than it was by adding that dimension. Tap, 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 tap. You can see that it's all over. It's no longer just, it's no longer black. It's now got a beautiful little shade of white to it with that embossing powder all over the top. Don't know if I can get this back in. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, yes. Ta-da! You use so little of it. And how many of you have had embossing powder forever and ever and ever and haven't used it in forever and ever and ever? So let's heat this. And you're going to be able to see the same turn. So I'm going to hold it up halfway through so you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's already embossed. Look at that. Woo! Okay, I got to stop, otherwise it's going to do the whole thing. So you can see the white over here where it's still not embossed, and then you can see that beautiful sheen where I have embossed it. Let's finish. This is not a blow dryer. A blow dryer will not do this, and we don't particularly care for the cylinder heat tools. The cylinder heat tools are the long ones like this. They tend to get very hot very quick, and you can burn your paper very, very, very fast. The heated tool may take another, an extra 30 seconds or so to get done what you want to get done, but you know you're not going to burn your paper, and you know that you can have other things around you and it's not going to blow away. All right, so there's one embossing, but I want it to be more raised. I want it to be thicker. I want it to almost feel like a piece of epoxy, like a piece of plastic, like an embellishment you would buy at a store like mine, only you don't have to buy them. You can make them. Clear again. Over the top. I'm a dumper. I'll put it all back in. I promise I won't waste it. A little bit right there. Pick it up with my tweezers. Kind of tap it off. You can see it's all covered. Oh, you can already feel how rigid it is, which is very nice because then you've got something that you can work with. It's changing it into something that is basically a plastic. Put it all back away. And let's reheat. And because I'm using that detailed embossing powder, I'm not filling in the nooks and the crannies. I'm not losing any of the detail. Look at how fast it's turning. This does not take long. And I'm not doing this either. I'm keeping it in one place and moving it as I watch it turn. When you do this, you're putting heat on and then you're taking it away, and then you're putting heat on and then you're taking it away. And you're never giving that powder enough time, enough heat to actually turn into a liquid, into a solid, into a plastic that's going to dry. And because I'm using that fine embossing powder, which is nice because fine embossing powder you can use for thick things and you can use them for fine things. Heavier embossing powder, you can only, if you try to put it on something as fine as this, it's just going to make a mess. Look at how fine that line is at the top of my rose. Look at how fine that line is, yet it still looks like a beautiful line. This line up here, I didn't lose that line. It doesn't have clumps everywhere coming off of it. This has kept the detail of everything that I wanted. And now it has got that absolutely amazing sheen to it which adds that one more element of depth, of richness, of a finished product, of something that it looks like you went and you bought, but you didn't. You made it, and you made it for far less than you could ever buy it for, and you made it in the color that made your heart happy. And this is your opportunity to create. And you may already own the Versamark pad, the embossing powder from 95. You've had it for so long, and you probably have some Memento inks if you need to use that. And who knows, you may have a set of gelatos that you didn't know what to do with, or you really love the Marabou, so now's a great time to get them. But it's beautiful. Double embossing. It's always better when you're using something that is so dainty and so detailed to use a detailed embossing powder as opposed to an ultra thick. I don't want it to fill in all of those spaces that I painstakingly designed to fall out. And I don't know if I can get a glare on here so you can see the wet look. Okay, so then back to my butterfly. Just quickly, because it's had ample time to dry, let's take my glue and let's just run a little bit kind of around the edges. And then let's take, what color do we want to take? How about a super dark blue? What if we did a dark blue on this? Let's cut us a piece of foil. Lay it right down over the top. Give good press. Pick it up. Give a good press. You don't have to sit there and try and do it this way. Pick it up. Put it in your hands. You're not going to hurt it. Pick it up, because then you can actually see it. Can you see it's transferring? You can see what's transferring, and it's not going to be beautiful because it's not supposed to. Oh, maybe I add a little bit more. It's supposed to have some fine lines through it and some distressed aspect to it. It's foil. I can still use this. Put this down, pick it up, put that down, pick it up. Oh, what if I used some of the, should I use silver? And mix my foils. And put it down, and pick it up, and put it down, and pick it up. Oh, let's add some more glue. I can even go over some of my blue if I wanted to, and put some silver right over the blue. You're like, really? You bet. And then I'm making my butterfly. And I didn't use a foil machine. I used white paper. I used my Marabou. I used some baby wipes. I didn't have to double emboss if I didn't want to, but I sure do love the extra added element that it gives it, because now when somebody feels it, when they feel it, there's a raised a bit about it. It's not flat. It's got and it's not just a little raised, it's definitively raised. You can tell. And it's just a little bit of happiness right in there. Love, love, love. And if I took this, then I could take this one and I could put my glue stick right on the back, kind of dot it all over, and it feels like plastic. It actually feels like a piece of plastic because you've taken that powder, melted it into a plastic. So gosh, you could emboss the back of it and make it waterproof. If you encapsulated the paper entirely in embossing powder, you would make something waterproof. All right, so we started with super, super simple. Actually, we started with just basically, I don't know what I did with it, but die cutting on Sizzix, on beautiful Sizzix marbling paper that is already done for you. Ready to go, easy peasy. Oh, this one's done. Easy peasy. And this one, I can do this one. I can take my purple here and put my purple there on top, just purple cardstock on top of that beautiful pinked, already foiled paper from Sizzix. Lovely. But then I could throw my embossing powder on top of my purple, and I could change it to whatever color I wanted if I wanted to use a detailed embossing powder, black or copper or silver, and I could have something. This is also on that beautiful Sizzix paper. That's the Sizzix blue. Isn't that gorgeous? So I have that. Or I could learn to make my own paper and decide if I want to add foil to it or not. And here's my purple on top of my blue with a little silver foil peeking through. But if I didn't want it to be purple, I could take a copper or a silver or a white or a black and do this and have a beautiful finished embossed piece with that raised, rich feeling. But if all I have is clear embossing powder, well, then I just take a piece of whatever color cardstock makes my heart happy and throw that clear on top of it twice to get the same effect. You have so many options, and you've got lots of bits of scraps of lots of things that this is a great technique to use to utilize all of those things. And it's an awesome opportunity to pull out your embossing powders that maybe you haven't played with for a while. And it's another great reason to have your Couture Creations foil, because you can do something now even more with it than just using it with your Go Press and Foil machine. It's all about making the most of what you have and figuring out how to put it all together to make things that are just lovely. Just lovely. And I think the girls did a just lovely. I mean, you could have put any of these on top. This one has the foil. Look at, just absolutely lovely. Any of these would have worked. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to show you the product first, and then I've got samples. So let me get going. Chop, chop. That's what I would tell myself. Chop, chop. Okay, embossing powder. First off, you can either buy it in the kit, the Basics kit from Stampendous. Love, love, love the Basics kit. It's got every color. It's got your detailed embossing powder. It's got glittered embossing powder. It's got clear embossing powder. It's just got a little bit of everything. So if you don't have any, this is a really nice way to start. Or if you know that you're just going to want the black, then just get the bottle of black. Or if you know you're just going to want the clear, get the bottle of clear. Copper is really, really hard to find, detailed copper. We carry the detailed copper from Stampendous, and I think we might be the only ones that do. So, embossing powder. Then we have the Sizzix marbling sheets that I showed you. And they're $6.99. They're on sale. You get 2 for, you get 8 sheets to play with, and they'll be on a YouTube Yummy. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. Then we have my dies, and let's just start to pull some of them over. Oh, the Marabou crayons. Also will be on a YouTube Yummy. Really beautiful product. Just because they say fine art, just because you think they're fine art, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't get them. All that means is you're starting with the best product available on the market for a wonderful price, amazing price. And the blendability is, and it's a baby wipe. You can do this. Okay, so there is my sunflower. So you get the sunflower, the backing, the words well done, and all put together. There's the rose with the word hello, the decor die, the backing, and it all put together. These dies are $13.99 each unless you buy the I Want It All collection, and then that brings them down to $9.99. There are 6 dies in the I Want It All collection. Next we have my cherry blossom background. So you get a die that cuts in, you get a frame so that you can either cut into your paper, have the frame cut out, and any way you want. You have an ample opportunity to do what makes your heart happy. And then my hydrangea. So you've got the decor die, you've got the frame, and there they are together, and you also have the words "You inspire me." These are also $13.99 unless you buy the I Want It All, which contains 6 dies, and that brings them down to $9.99 and $59.99 for the bundle. Here are the last 2 that are part of the I Want It All bundle. So you've got my butterfly that I used today, and you've got my poppies. And here they are. Oh, my puppy came up. So again, it cuts into, so you can make as wide of a border as you want, or you can use the frame that comes with it to cut it out and have a smaller border. And then my butterfly. Can you see the flower? I hope so. Love my butterfly, and it says fly, and you get an extra little flower to go with it because I had the room. So these are the 6 dies that make up the I Want It All. The butterfly, the poppy, the cherry blossoms, the hydrangea, the sunflower, and the rose. If you buy all 6 of those, buy it in the I Want It All combination, and they're $9.99 each. Much better value. Then we have my die and stamp set of my spring tree. So you can cut in, you can cut out, you can cut the frame, you can cut the frame with the decor. You have options with this one, and it comes with the matching stamp set. So the die and the stamp come together. Find your sunshine. You get the words too in the die and the stamp. So this is my tree. Here it is. There is a full-size stamp and a full-size die. Find your sunshine. This is not part of the I Want It All. It is $15.99, and I don't need to tell you that what kind of price that is, because you already know. You already know. But to go with it, I have my foil plate that matches. And here's the foil plate. So here's the tree in foil. The positive, the negative. Here's the stamp all by itself. So all of these work together. Look at the foil. So the tree will not cut out unless you buy the die and stamp set. So if you want the tree, it will foil into paper. But if you want it to cut out like this, you need to have the die and the stamp set. So if you have a Go Press and Foil machine, you probably are going to want all of them. If you don't have a Go Press and Foil machine, then you're fine. Just get the die and the stamp set, because that's going to do everything you want it to do. And then last for this collection, I have my poppy frame. And again, there's a die and there's words just for you, and it's your birthday. There's a stamp, so you have the die and the stamp in the same packaging for $15.99. But then you also have the foiling. I think it's beautiful. And the foil plates are $19.99. And you do need a Go Press and Foil to go with it. So with a Go Press and Foil, you can use the foil plate. And if you don't have a Go Press and Foil, then you have the stamp and the die. And if you have a Go Press and Foil and your die cutting machine, well, then you may want to just get the whole set, because then you have it. When they are gone, they are gone. Okay, let's do samples. Let's show off what the girls did. And let's start with Claire. So, these are samples done by the SMS girls. There's the hydrangea, and this is Claire. Oh my, this is my sunflower, and this is Claire. She layered it. The sunflower is very detailed. Oh my goodness gracious, Claire. I think she cut it 2 or 3 times and just set them slightly askew. I don't know if I can get it close enough for you to see the detail. Oh my gosh, Claire, that's beautiful. Oh, And here's the poppies. She did white on white. So she die cut the poppy dies out on white, put it on white paper, and then went in and colored them. Beautiful. And here's my cherry blossom background where she's watercolored as well. Oh my gosh. And then she did my cherry blossom background in flakes, in gilding flakes from Creative Expressions. Can you see she put the mega flakes on them, the gilding flakes. It's beautiful. Oh, and then she took my stamp and she stamped it with the Essentials glue pad with the tree, and then she drizzled her glitter over the top of it and burnished it in a little bit. Oh, Claire, love, love, love. This is all Claire. Okay, then we have Michelle. And Michelle used glossy paper, and she used the Creative Expressions, the little crystal tints to do her background, which came out beautiful. Look at that, that's beautiful. And here she did a butterfly tag. So pretty. And here she foiled the tree and cut the tree, and then she foiled on ribbon. Can you see she foiled on Find Your Sunshine on black ribbon? That looks great. Okay. Okay, so she took my butterfly, she cut it twice. She cut the body off of it, off one side it looks like. She made a full butterfly out of my half butterfly. Very creative, Michelle. Very clever, well done. And then she gave it a stained glass effect. It's beautiful. Very done. I had never even thought to do that. Beautiful. Then we have Belinda. And Belinda did a couple frames. So here she did a stained glass effect with Marabou on the back side. Marabou. And she paper pieced in all the individual poppy pieces. This is Belinda. But wait, I've already seen one of Belinda's. Oh, and I love, love, love. I'm sorry, I love my sunflower. Well done. Love, love, love my sunflower. Okay, this is the one I saw earlier when they were putting everything together. She made another stained glass window. Look at how beautiful is that. And she did it with those crystal tints, crystal color tints from Creative Expressions on acetate. How gorgeous is that? You see right through it. Beautiful, Belinda, using the poppy dye and the hello, beautiful, beautiful. And I bet that's from my must-haves, but lovely. And then another sunflower. Is that Belinda too? Oh, it is. Another sunflower. And then she did my tree, and look at how stinking cute is this. She die cut it and then she backed it so that all the little elements have a different color behind them. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, then we have Elena, and Elena put together the poppy frame. She foiled. And she took the negative, when she die cut, she put the negative back in and foiled on top of the negative. And here she made, look at how cute is this calendar. Who wouldn't love to get that? All foiled on pattern paper with the calendar, the 2019 calendars that we have. Oh my gosh. And then you just tear off the month. And who knows where she found the piece of wood. Then Elena took and made boxes, and I said that she needs to coat the top of them, so that she can make coasters. Do you want to know what she's made these boxes out of? Have you guys purchased any of the Do Crafts or Kaiser Craft wood pieces that come in here? She made boxes out of the leftovers. When you were all done, she put them together and made these darling little boxes, right? And if she took and waterproofed them, wouldn't these be the most darling coasters ever? You have any of these left over from crafting? Do something with them. Elena sure did, and they came out beautiful. She's so smart, so clever. All the girls are so very clever in their designing, and they all have a different feel. Oh, Elena, this one's beautiful too. Yeah, that's you. That's absolutely beautiful. Oh, I bet I was supposed to open one. Was I? No, okay. But she did do it on acetate. There's my rose. She cut into the paper with the frame, and then she cut the decor and put it on, and she did it in acetate. And you've got the hello down there. And then she did a layout. Now, she told me to tell you that the lady came from the swap meet. Some picture at the swap meet, and then she used some of her Nouveau Mousse to like foundation her up. But how beautiful. She used the rose. She made a stencil from my rose die and used the rose to make her, actually it's mixed media, it's not a layout, it's altered art. And she made a stencil using the rose. And this is Elena. And she found the lady at the swap meet. And then she did all the flowers, and just so clever. So smart. And last we have Doris. And here we have Doris and her poppies with well done. Oh, I knew there was going to be one. Here's Doris and her rose. And you've got you, inspire me. And these are all simply defined dies, which means the only place you're going to get them is here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. These are my dies and my designs, and we manufacture. And when they're gone, they're gone. Look at, isn't that a beautiful sunflower she did? And the folding technique. The folding technique, very cool. She's got hello down at the bottom, a little flower. And then her hydrangeas. Oh, they're beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous, Doris. Thank you. No, thank you. No, it says thank you. But she did a beautiful job with them. And then her butterfly. You are loved. She's got the cherry blossom on the back. She's got the butterfly on the front. So pretty. And then her tree. Oh, she stamped and heat embossed this. That's what she did. This is a heat emboss, and then she inked. So she was doing embossing powder like we did today. She used the Versamark and stamped the tree, and then she went back in and she colored. And then last but not least, her layout, which is made with the new Prima paper. And she's got the rose, and she's got the beautiful poppy frame up here ready for a sentiment. You've got your picture, your mat ready to go. Doris, this is beautiful. This paper was beautiful. I know why you chose it. It's just absolutely lovely. And that is her layout. All right, you guys. I'm going to tilt up. Ooh. Tilt up, tilt back. Too high, too low. Sorry. I'm going to zoom on back. Hello. All right, you guys. I hope that I showed you something new. I hope that you got inspired to pull out some of your older things and play with them. I hope you see a few things that you love, 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 and you want to get. And most importantly, I hope that you keep crafting. As long as we all keep crafting, then beautiful things are going to be made for this world. They really, really, really are. All right, where are you going to find all of this great product? Well, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. You can come into our retail store. I would love, love, love to see you. We had like this huge international week here. We had people in from all sorts of types of countries, and then we had like Oklahoma and Texas and Florida, and there was so many people who came into the store today from different states. It was just wonderful. So come see us if you can. I would love, love, love to meet you. And if not, pull out what you have, go to your local retailer and see what you can get from them. I bet they have embossing powder. You don't need to get the embossing powder through me unless you no longer have a local retailer and you don't own any embossing powder. But if you do, go see them, go visit them. I bet they have Versamark, and they might have a memento or two. And then for the dies and the stamps and the hot foil plates, well, those you do have to get through Scrapbooking Made Simple, because those are my heart. My heart and a die and a stamp and a foil plate. All right, you guys, I will see you next week. Thanks for hanging around. I hope you learned something, and toodles.